was embedded within the state's MFP is it says now if a school district enrolls a student in NCCR welding, they will generate a 6% weight per student per course. So that comes out to about $240 is generated per student per course that is directed into that school's program to either fund teacher professional development to go to training or buy the supplies for the student. And finally, we reinstated our training for the CTE teachers. We partner with South Louisiana Community College every summer, and this past summer we had 500 instructors come through there and get trained, and they earn the credentials. So now in Louisiana, you can deliver the class if you hold the credential. And one other thing we did is Student of the Year, and this has happened within the last 2 years. You'll hear about it, Student of the Year. It'll be a big thing. It happens every May. They have regional qualifying, and then they have state qualifying, and students come up to the state and they spend a day at the Department of Education, and they get interviewed by staff, and they take some little exams and things, and then they grade their resumes, and they announce a Student of the Year. Well, instead of looking at that, and it used to be, what got you points is how many advanced placement courses did this student have? Hey, how many dual enrollment courses did the student have? So now we have put into our Student of the Year, and when it comes out this year, you see the application, that's going to get weighted just as much. I'm looking forward to seeing the Student of the Year that's going to have been a career diploma jumpstart student with an industry-based credential. So we have put that in place. Real quick on this one note, I'd ask you if you would quick, I put in your table, on your table, a high school student planning guide. If you would real quick, just look at page 21 in there. Look at page 21. And what you'll see on page 21 is the requirements for the high school career diploma. 9 units required. So this started and said, Louisiana, we're not going to have those 3 diploma structures anymore. Career, 2%, basic, 24 credits, 21% of our kids, and 77% for college. So we're going to go to a 2 diploma structure. So now there's a diploma structure where there is a transitional 9th grade, and what that means is an 8th grader, if you are not proficient in 8th grade, you can be moved to the 9th grade and put on the high school campus, and you can take coursework where you're deficient and make that up. Then you would start your 9th grade year subsequently. So it's getting some of those 40% that were being retained and dropping out, getting them actually up on the high school campus. Next thing is we went to a 2 diploma structure in the state. 9th and 10th grade, students take the same coursework. English 1, English 2, algebra, geometry. At the end of the 10th grade, and they decide, do I want to go on a TOPS university pathway, take college coursework that's aligned to TOPS? That if you complete that coursework, you have completed all the necessary coursework to get a TOPS scholarship. And then there's the Jumpstart TOPS Tech pathway, where students can say, you know what, I want to be a welder. I want to be in IT, I want to be in medical, I want to be in manufacturing and get the C4M manufacturing credential. They would then start working their junior and senior year towards the Jumpstart career diploma. This group of students right now are juniors across the state. So right now they are in their 3rd year. This was a big year last spring and over the summer where students were deciding which pathway do I want to go in. And that bottom one is aligned to TOPS Tech. So now you're going to walk across the stage. If you get a career diploma, you've taken 9 courses in your CTE area at a minimum, you have an industry-based credential, and you have a high school diploma that's eligible for TOPS Tech. That was not happening before. Pathways. Remember, I talked about regional teams, proposing back to the Department of Education. What we have now is 47 pathways that have been submitted to the Department of Education. They've been presented to the workforce, a panel comprised of the Louisiana Workforce Commission, the Louisiana Department of Economic Development, and the Department of Education. These are the 47 pathways that are available to high school students across the state. Every one of them has a series of courses that students take that culminate in the industry-based credential. So I just told you where we are. where these students are in their junior year, they've chosen a pathway, they're working towards getting an industry-based credential. When they walk across the stage in 2018, they would have a Jumpstart career diploma, an industry-based credential, eligible for TOPS Tech. We have 1 year left for full implementation. The first cohort of these graduates will be in 2018. We have just surveyed every school in the state, over 350 schools. We went out and did this the month of May, June, and July. We surveyed every single high school in the state to find out what pathways are you offering. This is going to be posted on the department's website. So as a parent, school system, I can come in and I can say, what's being offered at Plaquemine High School? And it will pop up and it will show you, of the 47 pathways, here's the ones that they're offering. Auto, welding, manufacturing. Teacher credentialing. Just the update here, I alluded to this earlier, we trained 500 teachers this past summer. We've trained about 300 each of the previous 2 summers. I hear this from Workforce Commission. The message is loud and clear. We hear it from educators. If there's a gap in our system right now, if there's one area that we would like to continue to strengthen, that's with our high school professional school counselors. To get them to understand this, the importance of this, and make them aware of this. Last year, we started with a series of counselor collaboratives around the state. Every quarter, we meet face-to-face with 750 counselors across the state. We did that 4 times last year. We're doing it again this year. But it's very important. We put this guide together for them, high school planning guide. What are our challenges? The challenges are this. First is we have leaders and laggers. We sat here tonight and we heard about that, we have great leaders in this region of the state. We heard about Zachary. Not only is Zachary doing welding, Zachary's doing IT. They sent their teachers to Lafayette for training this summer. They hold the credential that their students are working for. We're Live Oak, Maurepas, Plaquemine, St. James, Ascension, Dutchtown. You have leaders in this area. But I'll say this, we also have laggers across the state. It's not uncommon that, we'll get a call almost weekly at the department. Hey, what's my student need to be on that basic diploma? Well, the basic diploma is being phased out. That's not an option anymore for your freshmen. And so we still have to do a better job of getting that message out there and getting the laggers, the ones that haven't come fully on board at all 350 schools yet, get them engaged in this with your help, business and industry's help. And finally, I'd say sustaining the industry engagement has been a challenge. What we find out when we bring industry in to help the school systems design a pathway is that industry is getting tapped for lots of things, whether it's a GBRIA meeting here or whether it's their local CAP meeting, or we want them to come to a Carl Perkins meeting on how they can spend their federal CTE dollars, and then we want them to come to a Jumpstart meeting for this, and then we want them to go to another planning meeting on CTE for helping them design the pathways. I mean, we have got to get better sustained industry engagement in Jumpstart. So moving forward in Jumpstart over the course of the next year as we come to the final phase of implementation, the first thing is our macro industry engagement. And our strategy here is we are going to be working with the workforce development boards who have established education subcommittees and help set regional Jumpstart goals, the workforce development boards. The second thing is micro industry engagement. We're going to start creating in-person and online mentor connections using NEPRIS. So if you're in a rural area and you don't have industry around you, there are software platforms that allow you to interact real time with business and industry for our teachers and our students. The third thing, Jumpstart Video Network. We are going to be publishing a series of short videos highlighting and spotlighting what our teachers and students are doing and making them available through social media and through the website and getting that out there. We're going to have a Jumpstart automated text response system. It's going to have keywords. You're going to be able to text in a specific code and it will be able to answer questions for you. You will get dialogue by just texting. That's what teenagers are doing. I don't know if y'all know that. That's what they're doing. have 2 of them at home, girls, and they like to text, okay? But it's worked very successful for LOSFA with TOPS when they're trying to reach kids about doing that. We're going to do the same concept with Jumpstart. And finally, virtual externships. We're really excited about this. This is going to take place next May and June. We are going to go out and we are going to find teachers that would like to do a virtual externship experience. This can be counselors as well. They're going to be paid stipends. And for a week, from their computer, they're going to be immersed in the business, the industry, the trades, the high demand areas in the state of Louisiana, and there will be spotlight business and industry sessions daily going on that these teachers will be dialoguing with business and industry on. And so we're very excited. Those are the next things that are coming up with Jumpstart. As I close tonight, looking out here and I was seeing all the representatives stand up, from the business and industry perspective, if I could have one ask from you, it would just be please stay engaged with these school systems. Please stay engaged with the school systems. For the educators out here, please work with your students. Make these opportunities available to them so that they will have an opportunity to get an industry-based credential, get a TOPS Tech scholarship if they don't want to go directly in the workforce, but they want to go to an LCTCS campus. But hopefully now, when you hear Jumpstart, you now know what we're talking about. We're talking about students in Louisiana that are on a career track that are going to be graduating starting in 2018 with an industry-based credential that's a requirement for graduation, aligned to high-wage, high-demand jobs that's been approved by Workforce Commission, Economic Development, and WIC. And when they get that high school diploma, they'll also know they're eligible for TOPS Tech. So those are the things that are going on in K-12 relative to Jumpstart.
Our welding instructor, Davis Rayburn, he's received an award 2 years in a row, and what we try to do in Zachary, and no matter what we do, we try to do it to the best of our ability. And the biggest thing is try to provide the best opportunity for all kids, whether they're going to college or whether they're going to a community or technical school or going straight to the workforce. We want to make sure they're prepared and ready for that.
Well, what we're seeing now in the high school is students are participating in the Jumpstart program where they're working towards a high-wage, high-demand, industry-based credential. And so what we had here tonight was our business partners and our post-secondary partners and our high schools who are all providing these opportunities for students. Business industry is a huge part because what happens in the process is as school systems start developing and designing the course progressions and the different pathways they're going to offer their students, they work in partnership with their local business and industry to develop those. And then they bring those pathways forward and they're approved by a committee that's comprised of the Louisiana Economic Development, the Workforce Commission, and the Department of Education. So it's truly a regional partnership that's developing the courses for the students. There's 47 pathways that are available. They range anything from the allied health field to NCCER welding. We have an all things Jumpstart presence on the Department of Education website, and you can also email jumpstart@la.gov.